Hi friends, it's Mimi. It has been a while since I've been on, but I have some crochet to share with you, and I have a couple questions. So go grab a cup of whatever makes you happy, settle in with a drink, and let's get to this. First, I'm going to share my crochet. Right now, I am working on, I'm going to share this with you first. So I'm working on a top, and the pattern, it's called Daisy Wrap Top Pattern by Hippie Daze, D-A-Z-E. Got this pattern off of Etsy. So I'll share, there you go. And then the back, isn't that cute? Now the back is here. So there is the back of the top. Now, this is something, I actually got a few of her patterns. This is the other one that I'm going to work on. And I'm probably going to make this a little bit longer, but this is something, you know, that I wouldn't mind wearing that out. The other one is for me to wear when I'm outside in my garden or just on my porch and it's just me reading and whatever else. So here is my progress so far. Now I had granny squares that I was going to turn into a hat. I decided not to do that, and I've had these for quite a while. I've just been sitting on them. So this is the way she tells you to attach them. So this will actually be the front of the top. Now I couldn't find this particular yarn that I used, and I just wanted to get moving with it, and I was in the car as a passenger, so I decided to just start crocheting. And I had 3, so this one is white, but I thought that worked out fine because when it's on top, I think it's cute. It's just kind of in the center, and I think, you know, I might even go around the outside of this to do like a little ruffle or something to just have it kind of stand out in the center. I thought that was kind of cute. So this is what I've gotten so far. And this is the yarn that I'm using. It's from Michael's, and there we go. Isn't that pretty? It's a really nice cotton. It's kind of expensive. It's $10 for a small ball of it. But I really like how it works up. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? That is really, really pretty. And this is just, I mean, it matches perfectly. This is, it might be Karen or it might be Red Heart. I'll probably find it when I'm done with the top. But this is what I have so far. So this is the top part, and then the drop, and then this is the first side panel that I'm making. So this is my progress, and I think it's really, really cute. It's funny. I'll show you what I did. Now, you have to improvise sometimes when you're on the road. I had no scissors. I had no nail cutter. I had no nail file. I didn't have any kind of cutter or just nothing. I tried keys. I tried a plastic knife. Nothing worked. So you got to kind of improvise. Now, this is what it looks like. So I'm going to have some ends. Once I'm done, you know, I don't even dare touch it until I'm done with the top. When I'm done, I'm going to go back and snip these and weave them in. It's really, at the end of the day and the end of the project, it's really not that big of a deal. It was either that or not crochet and be in the car for 2 hours when I could have done something else. So this is what I decided to do. Sometimes you have to just improvise and move along. So that was what I did. And so I left enough slack with this here. This is where I ended. And then I wanted to be over here. I left enough slack and then just kept going. And I did the same thing here. This is how it all ended up. So it's all good, but you know, a girl's got to do what a girl's got to do. And a girl needs to crochet. And so this is how I worked that out. So this is the, you know, I might even leave this part. I kind of like, I don't know. What do you think? This is what the top looks like in the picture, but I don't know, I kind of like the seams. I think especially since, you know, maybe if I just frame this one and do a row here, and I also want to do a ruffle right here. So we'll see how that turns out. So that is what I'm working on. And I actually have, I got 3 different patterns. The other one's not with me here, but I got 3 different patterns from her. And I really like how they're written, and it's really easy to follow, especially with the pictures. So that's that. Now, I started making a cowl, and I don't think I'm going to stick with that because it's, I don't know, I'm just not feeling it. I think the pattern, and I love her patterns, I believe it's Bella Coco Crochet, I believe it is. And it was a really straightforward pattern, granny stripe, and the same height and everything. I did everything that she was doing. But this is what I have so far. Isn't this yarn pretty? And this was a big twist, by the way. Here is what the skein looks like. And I have, you know, I got a good bit of this. I think I have 4 or 5 more. The only, it doesn't matter because I can't get any more of it. But the only complaint that I have about the color, and it's just my own preference. I absolutely love the colors of these, and I think it's so beautiful. I just don't love the orange and the black together because it just reminds me of Halloween. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I just don't like I really feel like they could have put the black anywhere else. Maybe next to the pink or the purple, any other color than the orange. And I love orange. I adore this colorway. Anytime I work with it, no matter what the pattern is, the black irks me. So, and I love black too. I just don't like it with the orange, but you know, I don't know, I guess I could always cut it out. But anyways, it doesn't matter. I'm going to keep going with this because I was in the car and I was just crocheting and crocheting. And so this is what I have so far. This would be the cowl, basically. So I just don't know. First thing is, it's a little scratchy for me. So I wouldn't wear this against my face. That's probably the first thing. The second thing is just that maybe the weight, or I don't know, there's just something that it's just not catching for me, this project. So, and I've made this cowl before without the yarn, and I loved it. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I've crocheted way too much of this to frog it. And I'm all for frogging a project if you're not feeling it. And sometimes you got to do that. But I don't want to frog this because I like the way the stitches look, and aside from that one thing, I like the yarn. Don't know what I'm going to do with this. So, does anybody have any ideas? I don't make blankets because I don't like large projects all that much. I love making shawls. If it were a larger shawl, I would like that. But I'm not going to make a blanket out of it. But I don't know what to do. Maybe I looked at it and I thought, you know, it's too floppy for a bag. And maybe I could do an iPad cover out of it. Maybe I might do that. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll have to frog it, but I adore all the colors, but it's just that one part, like I said, the orange and black isn't vibing for me. And I want the orange to be left alone. I love orange. I want the orange to be left alone and get rid of that. So I don't know what I can make with it. If you have any idea, let me know in the comments. I would love to hear that from you. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about quick is, have any of you done shows, like the craft shows, the vendors markets? And if you have, what is working for you? Now, for those of you who don't know, I used to have my own shop. I had a few of them actually. And now I just, I work from home. But I have been part of this market. I'm going to be part of it for the next year. And it's called, my eye is puffing up. Okay. That's not good. All right. The great part about this is I'm part of this market for the next year. So I have my retail display set up. I don't have to be there. They take a percentage of the sales, and I'll talk about that in another video, how that all works, because it is a great setup for, I don't like to say passive income. It's not passive at all, because you have to, there's a lot of things involved with it. I'd like to be part of a market, like a seasonal market or something. I'm not sure what the exact wording was, but I was really surprised. So they are specifically looking for people who have interactive displays and people who possibly make things on site. Now, I thought this was very interesting. It really ups the game, actually, of what you're having to do. I personally don't like to make things at a market because I find it, it's highly distracting, I think. And also, it's very, personally, I think it's very alienating for me, because if I'm focused on what I'm doing, that means I'm not going to be able to interact and talk with you if you come up to my booth to look around or engage with me. But the other thing is they are looking for people, they said, with people who are engaging with the customers. So that's the other issue that I personally have, is I like to be able to have people just kind of walk around and shop and experience things on their own. I am not one to stand there and say, how are you doing? What are you looking for? Because then it just brings back old retail memories where they want you out there talking to people. And I thought it was really interesting. And I haven't heard that before with markets where they're looking specifically for people who do, who stand out in the way of doing interactive displays. There was this one, which I thought was cute, I saw on Instagram, totally unrelated to this market, but there was this booth where this artist had pottery, and they had a machine. It was kind of like one of those old vending machines with the little plastic bubbles, and whatever the price was, and you put the money in, you turn the knob, and out comes a little ball, and then it's a surprise inside. Everything was wrapped with brown paper, and then you just open it up to see what little piece of mini pottery that you got. So I thought that was really interesting. And I do know some people make food. If you know my friend Pam from Pamela's Knit and Crochet Corner, she has a cotton candy stand, and that means she makes some fabulous things, and that's really cool. But I'm not sure how, so I'm so inspired by that, but I'm not sure what could I possibly do that would be interactive for people. Because now what I'm doing is the opposite of that. So for example, at my, on my display shelf, one of the things I have, and it's so hard to display this, but this is my personal magnet board here. And these are a few things that I bought, and my uncle sent me this from Alaska. These I made myself. Those are my own magnets. So I have those displayed, and it's hard to say, like, I don't really know, unless I'm there at the market. I don't know if people are picking these up and looking at them along with the other things. I just see on the app after what was sold. I did actually sell one of these boards. I include, I'm including like one magnet. These are real dried flowers, by the way, but I include one of these, and they're all different with each magnetic tray. And when I was doing my reset last week, a woman was there and she loved it and she was asking me questions and she said, well, I'll buy one. So I don't have that experience all the time where I'm actually able to see and talk to customers. So I'm just wondering, is this what the markets are like now, where you're having to really, I think it's a lot of pressure. I'm just not, I'm not sure what to do with it. That where you can't just have your stuff and be yourself where you're talking to people. They want interactive displays now. How do you do that as a crocheter? So I would like you to let me know. I really want to hear from you, and I plan to do a live video about this soon so that we can talk more about it, because I'm really curious to know, and that's interactive. I'm curious to know from everybody, what are you doing, or have you heard of this? And if so, what are you doing to make your crochet booth interactive? Because I honestly don't know how to do that. My experience is more of being a retail person with displays and visual merchandising part of it. But in terms of making it interactive, I've never done that at a market. So how do you do it? Let me know. I'd love to hear from you. I hope you're all having a wonderful week. That's that. I will see you all in the next one. Have a fabulous day. Be kind to each other. Bye.